Hello everybody, my name's Maddie and this is a video about cross stitch. First up on today's video is a new start that I did on the 21st, no I lied, 25th of April. I think that's the right date, that's Anzac Day. And this one is a Lynart kit. I think it's just called Poppies. So it looks like this is Lynart. It's from the Home and Garden collection Poppies. It's on linen with cotton thread and I started it on the 25th of April. Give you a look at some of the supplies. The key, that's what that looks like in this kit. So a couple of different counts of thread over 2 threads of linen. These are the colors. I love them, I think they're so bright. And there's so many different types of reds and oranges too. You can see them, they go from the cream through to like dark. And pinks as well, and purples. On the back side here is just black and green. And I've just kept them on their original organizer, on the original lengths, and just braided it up for using it. I have a highlighter and some little Kohana scissors in there to keep with the kit. And you've seen the cover photo already. And then this is the fabric. And it's actually printed. So these little designs in the background are printed on the fabric, but you can also see the little blobs, those are stitched. So like the little leaf bits and stuff in the background. I can't remember what count fabric it is. I can't remember whether it's a 28 or a 32. But it's stitching up beautifully, and I don't think I spent too much time on this yet. I think you got 2 or 3 stitchy sessions. One of them was really short. But I love how the colors are blending, and it was really fun to actually work on as well. I was working on it late one night, and it was just such a dream to stitch on. I don't know, it's slow going because I'm using the paper pattern, but it was just really enjoyable. Yeah, very pretty. And that's living in this project bag, one that I made. I think this fabric way was called Pressed Flowers when it came out at the quilt shop. Yeah, very cute. Next up are some purchases and gifts. So this is something that I got for Easter from a friend. Honestly, such a thoughtful friend to get me cross stitch. Like, they really thought about it. We went out for a picnic on Easter. So I actually started it while we were sitting there. I had another one with me on the project, but I thought I might as well start the Easter one. And this was on special at a discount shop, so I think it was only a couple of dollars. That's the thread that comes with it. The thread's really funny that comes with it. It's not like any other thread that I've worked with. It's like not as tightly twisted. It's like a looser twist on the thread than other stuff that I've used. That's fine, I mean, it still works. So in the time that we were sitting at the picnic, I got 2 colors in. So I got the arms and started on the body. They're quite long lengths, as you can see. I've been working this length, and the length is really long on the threads. The other thing to note is that the needle is just a standard needle. It's not a blunt sort of tapestry needle. So I did jab myself pretty good on the day. I've got to actually change out this needle before I put this away. And there's the chart. So yeah, very cute. So I'll probably display it in the hoop that it came with because I'm not super fond of this hoop. And the fabric is, you know, standard stiff Aida, nothing to write home about. But yeah, super cute. I was not expecting to get cross stitch on Easter, but pleasant surprise. And to be honest, this will probably just go in my kit box until next Easter, and I might work on it then. Or maybe when I need a quick finish or something easy, I might pull it out, but I don't think it's going to stay in my active whip box for now. Next is something, I think I picked this up late last year when I was picking up a lot of Couchman creations on eBay secondhand. So this one is called Night Stalker, and it's of an owl. I love the grey fabric. Like, even though the fabric's not that dark, it still does give off a nighttime vibe, but it should be easier to work on if I choose a grey fabric. There's some other Couchman designs on the back, and it's just like a little leaflet or booklet, whatever you want to call it. This is another eBay purchase. I think it was late last year as well. I ummed and ahed about this one for forever because obviously the cover photo here is an artwork. So the company is Cross Stitch Collectibles. The artwork is Robert J. May. And I love the artwork. But I'll show you a tiny bit of the pattern, and this is on the eBay listing. It didn't have what the pattern looks like. But I'll show you. I'm not sure how this is going to work up because the pattern is just letters of the alphabet. There's no... So I've got no idea what this is going to mock up to look like. I can't even tell. You know how some patterns have like darker symbols for darker areas and lighter symbols for lighter areas? This one is just alphabet. So I don't have an idea of what it's going to work up to. There's a lot of colors. It's in DMC here. And it's not a small pattern, not really. It's a 200 by 228, so definitely like in the medium category, potentially even medium to large, depending on what you consider like for pattern sizes. And I'm thinking maybe I'll try and run it through Pattern Keeper or something, or see if I can digitize it. I don't know if I want to go through and digitize it by hand. That'll take forever. But before I commit to stitching it, I would really love to do, like, to see a mock-up of it, or even to get an idea of like what the image looks like how, don't know how to explain it properly, but you know how when your artwork translates to cross stitch, sometimes you lose some details or things look really different because it's essentially pixel art at that stage. So yeah, very interesting. One day I will pull it out and kit it up and work it out, but I did fall in love with this image, and I think the seller on eBay offered me a discount, so I ended up adding it to one of these orders. There's another Couchman that I picked up, probably would have been around the same time. It's Pride, and I'm normally not into lions, but something about the high contrast here, the different values, and the one, like the monochromatic look. I'm not too sure about the lioness's eyes, not gonna lie, I think they do look a little bit funny. But I think this will be beautiful, especially if you pick like a really nice linen fabric to work on. And there's some more of Couchman's designs on the back there. Cool. Oh, this is one I found at the Sewing Basket, which is a specialty second-hand store that does patchwork and other fiber arts is all they sell. So I found this. I'd been looking at this kit on eBay because I love the simplified color palette and the pose on the tiger. And then I found this one in the sewing basket when I was there to get something else, and I thought for $7. So we've got what I can assume is the original fabric here, and the edges have been hand stitched down. We've got our hanks of colours, so I've got to sort those. And I've even got the 2 needles in there, so I think it's the full kit as far as I can tell. This looks like the instructions, yeah. And then the pattern is all there. I love the old font, the typewriter sort of font. Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. Can't go wrong for a cross stitch kit for $7, honestly. You can pay heaps for cross stitch kits. Even ones like this size, you could, you know, $40, $50. So I really like this one. I hope I can start it soon. This is a bag that I made recently. So it's a little bit of ribbon that I got when I was in Japan. And the fabric is one that I bought while I was in Japan. And the inside's just the same. But this one's very special because I put one of my cross stitches on the back of it. So I talked about this one a few videos ago. This is an old RUI kit. So it was called Puppy and Squirrel, I think, or Squirrel and Puppy. And I'd found this one secondhand at an op shop. It's on 11 count Aida. And I think I finished it up at the end of last year. And so I made it into a bag. Quite a cute bag if I don't say so myself, so. Very proud of myself. I did a different sort of style of bag, the one with the zipper like halfway down. And all of the edges are encased. It was a little bit tricky to figure out how to do that, and I don't know if there was an easier way to do it, but I managed. Just a plain zip on that one. Yeah, I'm quite proud of that bag. Next up is living in this bag that I made. So this is an old upholstery fabric swatch that I got from my old work when they were changing out the upholstery fabric. So this is like a faux suede. Is that ribbon again? It's the same sort of, not ribbon, lace it's called. And a little keychain that I got while I was there. But the project inside here is a very special one. This is an exclusive from the Mirabilia retreat, so it's no longer available for purchase. I'll see if I can pull out the original cover photo. So that's the original cover there. It's got so many pretty colors. And when I was at the retreat, I was really lucky to find this piece of fabric here, which is like a opalescent Lugana, I believe. I'll see if I can find the tag for it. Or if I wrote it down anywhere, that'd be great. I did a bit of work to digitize this so it was a little bit easier for me to read, but the fabric is Briar Rose, Opal Lugana 28 count, hand dyed by Stephanie. And then the threads that I'm using are just from Stash and a couple of things that I bought while I was at the retreat. So we've got like a mix of like fairy colors. My beading needle and my other needle, some Krynic. I think I picked up a few things on special from my local L&S as well. My local needle workshop. Look at these beads that I got. They're so pretty. And then there's these green ones. I picked these up at the sewing basket. And these ones are from the retreat. Very pretty. Do I have a floss card here? I think I'm just working from the, yeah, it looks like I'm just working from my, my little pile of, of goodies. I haven't even got a floss card set up for it. I'm just, this is what I'm working from. So let's have a look at how it's working up. So it's had a fair few sessions. I got really into it for a week or two. I've got it centered on this bit of fabric. I probably could have offset it or worked it out a bit better so I would save more fabric space, but I don't think I would have fit much else on this. It's such a beautiful piece of fabric though. So I have changed up a little bit in the hair and the arms and the shoulders from what the pattern was, just to make it suit my my style a little bit better. And that's all is the Krynic. I've managed to pick up a number 4 braid on discount at my L&S, so that's just 1/2. I think it looks fine. And then those big beads on there and the little green beads, and that's one color of what's the brand name? This one. My brain's not working. Cottage Garden Threads. That's that one. Look at all the fun colors. And I did a few different types of beads in the wand there instead of just one type. And now I'm working down the dress. And it's gonna say, I think it's, yeah, Australia Mirabilia 25. Fairy tales was the theme of the retreat that year, so. It's not as called for. It's like I said, just a mix of what I had or what I picked up over the week or two before I started it, but I love it. And this one's pretty good to work on as well. I do really like 32 count Lugana to work on. I think that's really nice. So next one I wanted to show you guys was Anzac. This is a long dog sampler. I started it on Leap Day. So that's it, Anzac by Long Dog Sampler. It's on Aussie Flame 18 count Ada from Paddock Lane Designs and PL012 by Silks For You. I can't remember the last time I showed you this, but I feel like showing it again. I may have shown it to you last video, but oh well. Those who missed last video get to see it, get to catch up. I'm working my way around the edges on this one. I want to try and get the border to match up before I start filling in the inside. I love this fabric. It's an opalescent one, so it's shiny as well. And that's a bit of an idea about how it's going to work up. I've been only just doing the outside. I think an echidna is coming in here. Very cool. I think this was a Whipco call earlier in the year. And I think it's due for another Whipco. It should have 2 calls for the year, so it'll come back out when I want it to or when the Whipco calls for it. My Whipco calls for this month, which is May, we've just started, is dragonflies, which I'm not talking about today, and a new start, which I am going to show you very soon. So this is the back of another bag that I made, and the front of it is The Herbalist by Dara, World on a String by Dara. This was a stitch along released last year that I finished. My version is with mostly Cosmo floss on a 20, no, it's a over 2, so it's 40 count linen. My washing machine beeping for those who have headphones or really good hearing. And this is another bit of like lace or ribbon that I bought while I was in Japan. Close up on some of the stitching. And then I did this little decorative stitch to attach the ribbon there, and I've got a little a flower zipper pull to go with it, and then on the inside is coffee beans. This is more of a standard kind of bag size that I like to make for myself. It's a I've got a 12 by 12 ruler that I use, and it's just all the layers piled on top of each other in the right orientation, and then to sew it all together I put the binding on. So my binding job's not perfect, but it looks neat from the front and from the back, especially with the patchwork. You can't really tell. It's my doji patchwork. I didn't try very hard. So it's just kind of rough cut and wibble wobble. These are I got a pack of they're like offcuts, or pack of like they're evenly sized scraps. I think they're 5 inches by 10 inches or something from the sewing basket, and I picked out a few that I thought worked really nicely with the cross stitch, and then I made it into a bag. Yeah, very cute. And then last but not least is my new start for this month. So I had a new start pulled on Withgo. I think I've only got 2 new starts on there, so it's very exciting. Pull out all of the bits and bobs for you to have a look at. I've got a little bag inside my big bag. Oops, sorry. For this one, that's got all my extra lengths of thread. I only put a few lengths on the I made a thread card with I got a big hole punch and a bit of cardboard. So I'll bring up the cover photo for this one. I threw it into Pattern Keeper. I think I have got a printout as well, but when I started it on that day I felt like using Pattern Keeper, so that's how we ended up with that. So that's the mock-up of it. It's called Gothic Snake. It's by Wild Bluebell Designs on Etsy. If I'm not mistaken, my Orchids Art Nouveau was also by Wild Bluebells, or something else that I completed is by the same Etsy designer. So I chose this snake pattern for Year of the Snake. I wanted to complete a snake pattern for that, because I completed the dragon landscape last year, at the end of last year. So I had a completed like Year of the Dragon cross stitch. So that's the same kind of idea, but for Year of the Snake. And in true Maddie fashion, I just picked what I had in stash that would work for this. It goes this way. And it's only got, I think it's got one afternoon or one evening, only an hour or 2 of stitching in it at the moment. So it's on a 16 count Cosmo Ada that I bought while I was in Japan. And that's the snake here and one of the leaves. It's my color conversion there. You can see the colors, I'll get them all together. So it's really like a dusty kind of palette. And some of these are the Cottage Garden threads, which are variegated, so there'll be some color shift in there. Some of them are solid colors. I'm hoping it's going to be really soft and pretty. I was hoping to have a darker fabric, so the listing photo online has it on black fabric, which would have been beautiful, but I didn't have a big enough piece in navy or black to work it on, so I chose this one instead. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today and chatting about cross stitch. I'll see you all in the next video.